The fate is disturbing.
Believe it. Okay.
Hello there, geeks. You're listening to episode 297 of Geeks Under Grace podcast. My name's Cody Armour. I'm here with Shelley Nollan.
Hello.
And Lj.Lowery.
General Cody.
This week, we're geeking out about the states of play. I think that's how you pluralize
State
that.
of
I'm not
plays.
sure. Yeah,
Probably.
state of plays. Marvel news, and of course, Obi-Wan. Or is it called Kenobi, the show? I think it's Obi-Wan.
I think it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, like, as a whole.
Okay, that makes sense.
I feel like I have to look this up now.
Like, Han Solo's movie was called Solo, so I feel like it should be Kenobi.
Yeah, I agree. It sounds better.
Should have been called Old Ben. That's it. All right. Well, we'll geek out about that in a little bit. First, as always, good to be back. We can get into the games that we've been playing, and I'm taking a break. I've played Apex some more.
Yeah.
And, yeah. I mean, there's really not much to that. There's a new character. Seems cool. They brought back the old map, and I always love when that happens.
Oh, cool.
I really wish they at some point would just bring back like the original old map. I think that would be really cool. I don't even know if they can even do that anymore. They probably got that way put away on back updates and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's like the same map that you played when you started the game when it first came out.
Yeah, the original King's Canyon, like before it like changed and stuff.
Yeah, but so much has happened to it now.
Yeah, well, that's like Fortnite.
I thought I knew the map, and I went back behind this building, and everything was destroyed.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, okay.
Well, that's kind of like Fortnite is. They'll bring pieces of it back. Like it's almost like they have like some kind of like secret puzzle, but like they brought back Tilted Towers, which was like a popular area from like the original map. So like, and then they brought back stuff from like a few seasons ago. So it's like they just kind of do like jumbled, versions of one map from like different seasons and stuff, and new stuff. But yes, like it's pretty similar to what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. I will say this. I haven't put an opinion on that other map that's like in the sky. Not a huge fan. It seems really small. I don't know if it is smaller or not. But I feel like the ring only goes down like way less than usual. I don't know. I feel confined.
It's probably meant for like shorter games or something.
Yeah. Although this might be an interesting observation too. I feel like more and more I'm getting to games where the end is the ring completely closing in. Used to be whenever I would like win a championship game, it would be that it would be before the ring stopped.
Oh, interesting.
Going
because that thing could get pretty small.
Well, it completely devours at the end.
Wow.
So it's got a final point. And I only did this like once when it first came out.
Yeah.
So it'll get to the final ring, that ring will stop, and then when the timer's up, it'll completely devour the map, and whoever's in the center basically has a better chance of living because it's going to like eat everybody, and then whoever has the least amount of health is going to lose. I guess whoever has the most amount of health is going to win in the end.
That makes sense.
Now I've had that like 4 or 5 times, so
I
don't know. Seems more and more common. I don't know why that would be, but anyways, that's what I've been playing. LJ, go ahead.
Cool. I'm going to not talk about Elden Ring this week. I did play it on stream, and I didn't think I'd enjoy playing that on stream. It was a lot of fun, actually. Nice. But I do want to mention the demo for Stranger of Paradise, that Final Fantasy game.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that came out, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, the demo came out last week, but this game is coming out this week.
Okay.
And it's actually pretty fun. There's a lot of callbacks to Final Fantasy and like all the enemies and stuff, and it's still super like cheesy. But it's really fun, and I'm interested in picking it up. The demo actually is one of those things that Square does where it's like, oh, you can play this and your save will carry over to the real game. So what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna take some trades into GameStop this week before Friday and get it because the pre-order bonus is a hat. So I'm like, ooh, can't resist a hat.
Gotta have the hat.
So yeah. So like half the reason's like, oh, I just want that cool hat. But no, it's a fun game. A lot of RPG stuff going on there. A lot of loot.
Final Fantasy Origin.
Yeah, so it's like a reimagination.
To kill chaos.
Yeah, so like I feel.
Yeah, okay, I remember the trailers. For
yeah, So
That's all you need to remember.
yeah,
Yeah.
so to me it feels like an alternate universe, feels like almost like an alternate version of like the original Final Fantasy universe, because these guys, they bring these crystals and they're like, well, your crystals aren't glowing. Like, are you really the Warriors of Light? And then they're like, well, I don't know. Like, we just all had this dream to meet up together and kill chaos, like, and then the king is like, oh, okay, well, fine then. If you guys think you're up to the task, I'll send you to do what you need to do. And so I'm like, this can't end well. Like, they're not the real Warriors of Light. So that's where I'm thinking this story might go, where it's like, oh, they find out they're not the real warriors or something.
And then they all die because it's a Final Fantasy game, and that's always what happens.
I mean, in my mind, that's what I think would be crazy. Is like, yeah, if something happened where it's like, oh no, yeah, we're not the Warriors of Light.
That's
like,
the original story of the original Final Fantasy, right? They all
yes.
want to go. Is it
Yeah.
Chaos is the villain in that?
Well, a character named Garland is the villain in that, and I mean, I don't remember, like, I don't really know the whole plot, but yeah, the idea is that there's 4 people, there's 4 Warriors of Light, I believe, and there's only 3 of them, and so it's like, well, automatically it's like, yeah, well, there's only 3 of you, so that doesn't seem right.
We haven't found the 4th yet. We're working on it.
Yeah, I believe so. Like, it's been a while, but it's a really fun game, and it's like. Yeah, it's good.
And isn't the protagonist's name in this Garland?
I think he literally is Jack Garland. I had to look it up.
I was talking to my friend about it, and he was basically explaining that to me. He's like, yeah, so this guy's essentially going to become a villain. Like,
so I think that's what it might be, because then it's confusing, because then it's this whole thing where it's like, oh yeah, this knight named Garland went to go, after Chaos as well, and we haven't seen him or whatever. So like, it's going to be this
I figured his name was Shadow the Hedgehog.
Well, he might as well be.
Chaos control.
Yeah, but yeah, it's going to be straight up nonsense, and apparently I've heard that story, like, in reviews. I've heard it actually wraps up pretty well, like, pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to that. But
cool.
Yeah, the other thing I want to give a shout out to is Beat Saber. I've been getting into Beat Saber a lot more.
Heck yeah.
Apparently, I mean, if I wanted to mod it, I could, I guess, because there's a way to, like, sideload that stuff. But for now, I'm just playing the main game because, like, there's, like, song packs and stuff. So I bought the Linkin Park song pack, which was really cool.
Nice.
And so it was one of the first times when I played Beat Saber, when I really started getting into the mode of it. Like, so I was like, okay, yeah, this is the hook of it right here. And it was songs I knew, so it was just like, it just clicked. And then OST 5 came out, which is like the new like set of songs, and they are so good. I listened to them on Spotify, but I'm afraid to play them because like it seems like they're gonna be straight up murder on like all like the normal modes and end up. But they're super good. Like, I just listened to them on Spotify. Like, there's this one.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say there's this one called Boss Fight Chan, and it's just like got all these like, it's like this rock music and then like video game pixelated stuff, like 8-bit stuff. It's so good. A lot of good songs on that latest update. So I'll probably play some on my day off on Wednesday. But yeah, those songs are gonna be murder. I can already feel it. Yeah. So
you reminded me. I did go to an arcade round one in Denver when I was there. So I did play some rhythm games. I don't know the names of any of them. I think they were all in Japanese.
I was gonna say they might have been Taiko, like Drum Master or something.
Yeah, there's some cool ones. There's one with a keyboard that I played. My favorite, I think, is it's this dial basically, and the dial it has like 5 different ways you can turn it. And so you go with the lines. It's weird. There's a lot of different rhythm games out there for arcades now. There's also like a dance one, kind of like DDR, but it's a mat, and your feet light up the mat, and so you can have 2 people. The one person's in front and one person's behind. It's a whole thing. It like lights up with the screen.
Huh.
And your footprint is like literally there. It's cool.
Oh wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, we go to round one almost every time we go to Denver. Not like a huge arcade, but kind of a Dave & Buster's with more games.
That's cool. Yeah, there aren't many of those these days, so it's kind of neat to like throw money at that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The way they set up too, I think people who have been to Dave & Buster's will know. You can get like 2 different cards, so one of them is time based.
Yeah.
And then you can play anything with a green, anything that basically doesn't have tickets. And then the other card that you get is like credits in that one. you're actually spending a little bit more money, but you get the tickets and stuff. So if you're into those kind of games, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, I did do that. I suppose it was fun.
Cool.
Shelley, what have you been playing?
Really haven't been doing much. I haven't been doing much at all.
That's fair. I mean, I bring up the same game every single week, so I don't. It's okay.
I think I played a little bit of Horizon Forbidden West, but not much.
I need to get it.
I've been watching Daniel play Triangle Strategy, so it's sort of like a...
Okay.
It's the same thing with Octopath Traveler, right? Like, I watched him play through that, so it felt like I played it, even though I definitely
played it
didn't.
by proxy, kind of.
Exactly. I'm kind of like, I'm almost playing by proxy, although, like, I definitely couldn't actually do any of the battles. I'm following along with the story.
Right.
I mean, I could do the battles. I just, like, wasn't there for the tutorial, and so now he's deep enough in the game that, you know, you're not learning anything. You're doing the strategy, so I'm like, what's happening? But, I mean, that game looks really cool. I like how, the choices, it's... Because that's, like, the whole thing about this game is that it's like, oh, there's these crazy choices you have to make that affect things. But it's sort of different than, like, you know, Dragon Age, for example. I feel like Dragon Age, it's always, like, ideally there's, like, you know, every choice is kind of, like, it can be good or bad, or whatever. But it's, like, always, you're always make the choice, and it seems like no matter what you do, things always end up kind of the same. I feel like in this game... there are branching paths, I think. I don't know if he's gotten to the point where, like, it's going to branch off entirely, but, like, there's a way you can, like, check, like, what choices, like, have, you know, influence on the path that you take, which is interesting. What I think is very cool about this game is that you don't actually really make the choices. You have to convince your team to make the choices. It's always on a vote. And so if you want something to happen, you literally have to, like, gather information and convince your teammates, like, hey, we should vote this way, or hey, we need to do this thing. I'm going to convince you of this. So, like, anytime there's a decision make, there's, like, a little, like, information gathering section. It'll tell you who wants to vote which way, and if anyone is sort of indifferent. But even if someone is indifferent, they still have to choose one side or one option when the voting comes to make a decision. So, but what I've seen so far, I like how it really is, like, hard decisions so far.
That's a neat change compared to, like, oh, well, let me just choose this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I could be wrong, but in Dragon Age, I always felt like there was definitely, like, a really correct option. Like,
yeah.
And most of the times, I feel like there was just, you know, it seemed like, yeah, this is the right option. There's not too many cons here. Whereas other options, there's not too many pros, for example. I feel like in this game, there's definitely consequences to, like, every action that you make. I don't know. I just think it's cool. I'll keep watching him play it. But yeah. But I haven't even played that game. I just talked about it. So. Watched a lot of it. It's a nice looking game. It's got the 2D HD stuff going on. So,
sounds cool, though.
Yeah.
Do really love that. Cool. We'll get into the gaming news then. LJ, go ahead.
Alrighty, so as we said before, we have a few state of plays to mention. One of them has not happened yet, which I find this kind of surprising. We're getting a state of play on Hogwarts Legacy, so which feels odd to me because it's like I don't know that we've had a Sony, like, state of play on a third-party game like that. Like, maybe they just, like, partnered with them or something, and they're like, hey, let's, you know, we need a place to do this or something like that. But, like, because it's usually exclusives. And so we're supposed to get 14 minutes of gameplay on this, I believe. And I assume we're going to get a release date with this. Because Gotham Knights just got a release date last week, which is going to be October, like, 25th. And so for them to have this now, I feel like this, unless it comes out like November or December, I feel like this has to come out a lot sooner if they're doing a state of play on it. So it's like we might get this anywhere from like June to like August or June to August or something. So I think it's exciting, and people have been wanting to see like what this game's all about and how it works, and so I'm excited just because like Avalanche is a good developer. I believe they're the ones that did like the Just Cause games and like the Mad Max game and stuff, and those are really fun open worlds. And then I'm sure like they have the other WB tech behind them as well, like from WB games and everything. So
yeah,
it looks fun. I mean, from what we've seen, and so we'll get to see more on Thursday.
exactly. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and it's like like who doesn't want to explore Hogwarts? You know, as
Everyone's always wanted like people. It's like that's why so many people got the I forget what it's called, but it's like the mobile game.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
So many people got that, I think, because it was even a semblance of what potentially Hogwarts Legacy is going to be. It's like you can go into a house and you could like learn spells and stuff. But it's also it's a gacha game. I'm pretty sure it's a Well, it's not a gacha. I don't think there's.
I think it's the same as Niantic Labs, isn't it? So it's Pokemon Go.
Well, that was different.
Yeah.
There was two of them because there was a Harry Potter one that I think is done now, and then that other one that came out where you could make your own character. That was almost like a Telltale style like adventure game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of something else then.
Yeah. Well, no, because there was two different ones.
Was one of them made by Niantic?
Yes, one of them definitely was because that was like
that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But but no, I
think both of them are dead now, like both of those games.
Yeah, it's funny how it's like I'm so unexcited about more Harry Potter movies. Like, I'll talk a little bit later. I saw the Batman, but one of the trailers was for Secrets of Dumbledore, right?
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, good. Like, I'm so tired of this. But then I'm like also really excited for Hogwarts Legacy because I don't know. It's like you get to finally be in Hogwarts.
It just seems like they're going back to like the Harry Potter like feel that like we know from the movies. They're not trying to do anything like crazy with it. It seems like.
Yeah, people wanted this for a long time.
Yeah. Unless
we watch the State of Play, and it turns out to be something that we entirely don't want. That'd be really funny.
Yeah.
I guess we just have to wait. But if it is what I think it's gonna be, it's what everyone's wanted for a very long time. Similar to how I would say Pokemon Legends Arceus, while not perfect, I think also is a good thing that people wanted for a long time. Just literally being able to run around, draw out your Pokeball, draw out your Pokemon, and like in a more open world setting. I feel like it's sort of akin to that idea of like the people wanted that sort of thing in Pokemon for so long, and Harry Potter fans have wanted their own role playing thing,
Yeah.
And they get to be in Hogwarts, and you get your letter, and you get to learn spells and potions, and I don't know. I'm a Harry Potter nerd, so that's why I'm about it.
Yeah,
but
and Quidditch. If they don't let me play Quidditch, then I'm out.
They have to, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Real quick, I don't think we've ever done this on the podcast. What are your guys' houses? Hufflepuff?
I feel like we have. I've definitely Hufflepuff as well.
We're all.
Are we all Hufflepuffs? That's crazy.
No,
yeah.
It fits. I think.
That's awesome.
All my friends, if I ever ask them, and obviously a lot of people don't care, right? But like for the people who do care, they're all Ravenclaw. Like almost all of my friends and all the people I hang out with are Ravenclaw. Like Daniel's Ravenclaw. Like it's very funny. I know
one Ravenclaw.
I know a couple Gryffindor and maybe a couple Slytherin, but like most people I know who I'm friends with are Ravenclaw, which is just kind of funny to me.
My wife is Slytherin.
I know
and
it
proud.
doesn't matter, but it's just a funny thing.
Almost as important as Myers-Briggs.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think so.
Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, I've never thought to ask, but cool.
That's funny. Yeah.
The game looks cool. I'm excited.
So yeah, we'll be talking more about that next week, I'm sure. So the other thing, the other one actually already happened, but gaming news is light this week. I want to give a shout out to a few things. So we had like a bunch of like third party, like a lot of it was like Japanese like focused. So we had this trailer for a weird game called X Primal, which looked like a shared world thing with like dinosaurs as enemies. Like it looked like an Anthem or like a Destiny like Overwatch thing, but like with hordes of dinosaurs. Didn't look that great, but that was kind of like the thing they opened with. Let's see. Showed more Ghostwire Tokyo stuff, but that's coming like in 2 weeks, so we'll get there pretty fast. The Stranger of Paradise demo came out. I already mentioned that. They showed more Forspoken since the delay. They showed like another trailer, and that game actually caught my eye, which I don't think it had before. It looks fun. A Gundam thing. I forgot about this. It's a Gundam game, but speaking of Overwatch, it's literally like a hero shooter but Gundam themed. So I'm like, hey, I'd be kind of down for that. Like, I like Overwatch and I like Gundam, so like, I'll check that out when it comes out. I think the thing that most people, our audience is, a lot of our audience will be into is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection. This is a collection full of a bunch of beat 'em ups, like the arcade ones and like the ones on Super Nintendo. We even got some like Game Boy games, and then we have the infamous, which I like to call the original Dark Souls game, but it's literally just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the NES. That game is notorious for being one of the hardest Nintendo games like out there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that Lion King meme where it's like, oh, if you can beat this, I'll get you a PlayStation 5. You know, like,
gotcha.
if I ever have kids one day, that'd be like my thing. Like, if you can beat this Ninja Turtles game, yeah. But yeah, so that's on there. There's like a ton of them, and there's like all the different like language versions on there. There's like a brawler, like multiplayer brawler kaiju game called Gigabash. It looks kind of cool. They're re-releasing a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fighting game.
That's right.
Yeah, which it looks cool, but I know nothing about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So good, that's good for the fans, I guess. And then there's a game coming out called Trek to Yomi, which basically I was calling it Ghost of 2Dima because it's set on like a 2D plane. It's like a black and white like look, and like I'm sure it's its own thing, but like it's just like, oh well, it's like samurai games, cool. That's actually coming to Game Pass day one on Xbox. So, but yeah, that looks cool as well. Let's see what else. Returnal expansion DLC for that PlayStation game, that Housemarque game. And then lastly, we got a couple new Square Enix games. We got a trailer for the Diofield Chronicle, which is it's like another strategy looking game, like another tactical game. And then the one that kind of interested me at the end there was Valkyrie Elysium, which is there's a series on PlayStation and PSP called Valkyrie Profile, and it's really cool. And it does have some like spiritual themes and like some like slight Nordic themes, but it's like straight up like Japanese anime. But it's an action RPG looking thing, so it's like I'm sure all the turn-based RPG fans, they're like, nope, don't want it. It's got action gameplay. So, but it looks cool. I'm actually like, ooh, that looks fun. So yeah, that was kind of last week's stuff. A lot of random stuff in there, but yeah, we'll be talking more State of Play next week with Harry Potter, and yeah, gaming news is pretty light, other than those. So that's about it for gaming news.
Cool. We'll get into the movie news then. I think we should start with the Batman. Not movie news, just movies that we've been watching.
Yeah.
Caught me.
Wait, don't go too
They both give you a look.
I talked a little bit about Batman last week, but now that we're all here, I think we can probably have a good little chat about it. So what'd y'all think?
Yeah.
Not a spoiler cast, but just a little...
Well, yeah.
I'll try to stay away from it.
Yeah.
I love the Darth Vader theme getting a
Dude,
remake,
so many times I'm like, it's Darth Vader. It sounded cool, it has this.
I loved it. It was perfect.
The soundtrack,
but no, like literally, great. Daniel and I were talking just about that when we watched.
Yeah, it's like 3 notes off. It's kind of perfect. I don't know. I really enjoyed this. I think that what's his name? What's the actor's name?
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson does an amazing Batman. I think as far as like an early on Bruce Wayne, I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
But I want to see him be more Bruce Wayne like in the sequels, and I think they set it up for him to do that.
Yeah.
I think where he's at in his life right now, he wasn't like
he's not
ready
interested
to be
in being Bruce Wayne right now.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
The public figure.
Totally.
But it's the thing that I like about Batman. I think it was Kevin Conroy. He's the voice of Batman in like everything.
Mm-hmm.
He said at a convention one time that when he made Batman, and the reason that everyone kind of clung to it so much, like changed voice acting because he had 3 different versions of Batman. There was Batman, which was theatrical. There was Bruce Wayne, that was theatrical, and there was Bruce Wayne in the Batcave. In the Batcave, Bruce Wayne was his most self. When he was talking just to Alfred. But any other time he was acting, he was putting on a show for those. And so this Batman has yet to be kind of a... he's not doing the theatrics on the Bruce Wayne side of things. I'd love to see. I know Robert Pattinson can do it.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see him do it. I think we'll even get more of a fake Bruce Wayne than ever before in a good way. Like I think he can kind of showcase that emotion. Gritting his teeth and doing it anyways. Yeah, what do you guys... I'll keep going, but what did you guys think?
Go for it, Shelley.
I liked it. It was just a superhero movie. That's all it was. Like, I really liked it. The cinematography was awesome. The acting was great.
Yeah.
The writing was good. It's just weird because it's just a superhero movie. That is all it is. There's no, like, you don't need to think too hard. In fact, I kind of had to turn my brain off because I realized I was thinking too hard. I'm like, okay, I can't do that. It kind of just felt like, not by, like, production standards, but by, like, story standards. It kind of felt like a 2000s superhero movie. It just was... I don't know how better to describe it. It just, like, a lot of places, it was, like...
It wasn't trying to connect with anything.
And it kind of led into something that was, like, kind of cheesy, but it was, like... I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. It was, like, refreshingly cheesy and edgy. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's kind of how I felt throughout the whole movie. It was just kind of like a breath of fresh air, compared to, like, you know, Marvel. I'm so used to, like... these weird jokes that, like, are sometimes funny, but they just are forced a lot of times. And, like, oh, you have to, like, know all of these other movies and all these other characters for anything to make sense. And once you, like, leave the movie, it is a fun thing to, like, theorize and talk about the future of Marvel movies. But with this movie, I'm not thinking about sequels. I'm just like, yeah, that was an experience. That was Batman doing cool Batman things.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's very easy to talk about this movie without spoilers because it literally is just Batman doing Batman things. You get what you pay for.
He fights so ridiculously in this. Like, just so rhythmically.
The shots are very cool.
And it's not like he even just kicks everybody's butt all the time. You definitely get to see him as, like, oh, this is my second year, so I'm not, like, that good at everything I do, which was really cool.
Yeah.
I loved that about it.
Watching him fumble a couple times was nice.
Yeah.
So I really liked it. It just, like, it was really nonsensical sometimes, and it was just, like, it was just so painfully superhero movie, but it's, like, really freaking good superhero movie. So I don't know. It's like
you compared it to. You were comparing it to like 2000s movies, and I compared it to like 90s, like late 80s, like Blade Runner. It had this very...
well, yeah, it does have a very noir vibe to it, which is really cool.
Specifically in that cyberpunk realm, like the whole city just kind of has almost like a pre-cyberpunk era world to it.
It's got its own tone and like personality. Like the set to me, like, has its own tone.
But the characters and stuff felt very 90s to me too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Nirvana.
Terminator era.
Seemed like it just was a Batman movie. I don't know what more to say. If you like Batman, you're gonna like this movie. If you don't like Batman, you're not gonna like this movie.
That's true. Like, it's very much Batman.
I don't know how else to say it. It was at least I realized after this movie I am a Batman fan. I feel like after the Nolan trilogy, I don't love him as much as other people. It's also been a while, so I maybe need to watch him again. Granted, I watched the third one first, which was a mistake. And then I like later watched the first and second, and I was everyone was like, okay, but like, you know, Joker, like he's such like I'm just like, wow, he is an amazing actor. 100% he is. I don't really like this movie though.
I honestly still think like the first one is like I know Dark Knight was still really good, but when I did that rewatch a couple years ago, I think the first one it might be my favorite.
That's really good, yeah.
But so that's why I was like, I mean, I'm not comparing it to those movies because at this point it's been so long since
it's too easy for people to do that, and I don't think you can, in my opinion.
But I was kind of worried. I'm like, if I don't love those movies, does that mean I'm just not a big Batman fan? I'm just like, after watching this movie, I'm like, no, I am a Batman fan. 100% I am. Because I really enjoyed this movie and I really enjoyed his character. So
he also gave me some Mandalorian vibes. Maybe it's because he had his own theme song every time he walked around, but he would literally like walk and it sounded like he had cowboy boots on, spurs on.
Vibes.
Yeah. That soundtrack is probably my favorite part about the movie because there was parts of it that gave me like Batman Returns, like old like Tim Burton vibes.
Oh yeah.
I listened to that soundtrack while writing an Elden Ring review last week, and I'm just like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah. But man, it's cheesy. It's
yeah.
You're gonna laugh.
it is self-aware. Like not in like a.
But I love it. It's kind of like it's like the edginess is just like it's the fun edginess.
Yeah.
It's like the
It's like we know what we're trying to be.
Not serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We brought Shadow the Hedgehog up earlier. It's kind of Shadow the Hedgehog edgy.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? What's happening?
And that's why I'm like, I like that, but I feel like some people might not. But I also feel like those people can't really be big Batman fans. Or if they're
One thing that I really loved that I had a conversation about was the
Lego Batman movie.
Yes.
Also very very good movie.
The cuts, the way the movie cuts. A friend of mine was like, I don't like the way that it's storytelling. The cuts are like kind of awkward. And I'm thinking about it, and I think what they were going with, and if it's the case, I love it. It was cutting away the stuff that Bruce didn't care about. So there's a scene pretty early on where he's like got a breakfast he needs to attend, and it completely skips over this whole scene, and you feel like you're missing part of the movie. But I think what's going on there is he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
So you're getting his perspective.
I like that.
Yeah.
I also
his notes.
I also you know, going into it I was like, okay, this is like a 3-hour-long movie. But now coming out of it, I'm like, it needed to be 3 hours. It was paced well. It was well paced. If they try to make it shorter, it would have been
There was a few parts, like I said last week, where I feel like it slightly dragged, but before it even really got to that point, it moved on.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was I was having a rough week. I was having a rough weekend, and we watched this movie.
You got 3 hours just to watch a movie and not think about anything else.
Absolutely. It was it's a perfect theater movie. It's a perfect, just like, get some friends.
That's why
it was almost like nostalgic to be in that way. It was kind of just like like being in the theaters, especially because like at least in Washington we're like not wearing masks anymore as of this week. Like it's a very new thing. I was just like, huh. I feel like I'm in like high school or something right now. It was very strange. Like it wasn't even purely nostalgia. It was just kind of like a weird familiar feeling that I haven't felt in a while. It was strange, but good.
Cool.
Do you have any other thoughts, LJ?
Yeah, I'll mention it again since you're here. I really loved like his character development as Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a very like, and just how his reasons for doing what he does like ends up changing by the end of that movie, and like to me that's the most character growth that a Batman has ever had. So I loved that about it, but I just wanted to reiterate that since you were here.
Good Christian message at the end of that movie.
Yeah, there sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good, and the way that movie ends, I was like, oh dang! Like it's not like, oh, everything's hunky dory. Like it's like, oh yeah, like this needs to happen. You know, like we're just bringing it all down.
Yeah.
So, I like that. I like the way it ended. For both good reasons and bad reasons. But yeah, that's my final thoughts on the Batman.
Cool. We'll get in. Wait, you saw another movie, LJ?
So the controversy with this movie kind of fascinates me. So I watched Turning Red, and so there's two.
Is it even a controversy?
Well, it's divisive. I guess it's not controversy. It's divisive. So the thing that I'm seeing is that there was a review that sparked that like people just gave the dude flack for because he's like, oh, I can't relate to this movie, like therefore it's like not for me or whatever. And it's like, well, it's not supposed to be like it, you know. Yeah. But then I'm seeing, especially in the Christian realm, there's a lot of parents that turned on that movie not knowing what they were getting. And that movie does have some like it's PG, like which is, but it's got some things that like are like, oh, like it's a Pixar movie, you know, like people expect like, oh, it's a Pixar movie, it's going to be completely family friendly, but it's about an adolescent teen girl, so she's going to have these thoughts and things that she does that are totally on point for an adolescent teen girl. And so and I think people are just like, oh my gosh, like that's in there. Like, but yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like, I mean, the movie wasn't very well marketed either. So it's like, they couldn't tell you like, oh, like this, you know, maybe you just go with your daughters or something, or like, you know, like, so it's like if you're a family full of boys and stuff like that, like it's like young boys, it's not going to be appealing at all. But I honestly think it's one of Pixar's boldest movies they've done in a long time. Like they've done the whole like culture like capturing thing, or it's like, oh, we want to focus on this culture. But for Pixar to be like, oh, like we're going to take things up a notch and capture the life of this young girl and what it would be like. And so I'm almost, it's one of those things where I'm also like, well, parents, like you guys, you take your kids to watch Marvel movies, right? Like those are PG-13, you know, like, so right. In my mind, I'm like, there's not much of a difference, but also it's the first time Pixar has like, I feel like taken things up a notch and said, oh, we're going to share these themes that are probably a little more heavier, than people are used to. So yeah, like I really like it. I think it's a really good movie, but it's just like
I want to watch it.
It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I'll probably get my husband and I to watch it.
Yeah, and it's like even like obviously like I don't necessarily connect with these themes myself, but it's like I grew up with, you know, a sister and things like that, and it's like, you know, it's obvious what the movie's about, but I just think that like I feel like parents were blindsided when they went to see it, and it's like Pixar doesn't have to appeal to everything that Disney. I think Pixar wants to break away from Disney. I think, based on what they're doing, but especially with like how like mediocre kind of Soul was, and then like Luca was okay for me, like, but to me it's like one of the best they've done in a long time because it feels like it's the furthest they've gotten to do what they want without Disney like making, you know, too many changes. So. It's also a shame that they've been relegated to Disney Plus since COVID started. Like, I would have loved for, like, even if Soul wasn't that great and Luca, like, I would have loved for those movies to actually make money in theaters because they totally deserve it. But also, those movies are being watched a lot on Disney Plus. So, I don't know how they measure success on streaming services because people aren't going to the movies. But, yeah. I think I've taken it upon myself. Like, I'm probably going to write a review on this, too. Just because I'm like, it's on my mind and it's just like I have a lot to say. So, but it's really good. I recommend people watching it and knowing what you're going into, especially parents. Like, just know that what you're going to get is a little heavier and more for a teen audience. So, yeah, those are my thoughts.
It's like I still barely know anything about the movie because, the marketing wasn't probably amazing, but from what I could tell and just what people are like saying, like my first impression when I first saw the trailer, well, one, I was kind of like, really, they're doing the transforming thing again, but that was literally my first thought. But
yeah,
the second thought was like, okay, I mean, like it's a simple concept of like, you know, growing up, like it's a beast, you know, growing up, like, you know, your body changes and like puberty sucks. That's kind of what I thought it was gonna be, and from what I've read, it's kind of that.
Yeah, it is
great. I think that's wonderful.
It totally is.
But what's also funny is that I've seen people complain about like, granted, I haven't seen too many people actually complaining. I've seen people complaining about people complaining.
Yeah.
That,
So
the internet
tweens are like really cringy and stuff, and I'm just like, were any of these people in middle school? Did they go to public middle school? Because I wasn't even in middle school in the 2000s, because I know this takes place in the 2000s.
Yeah, like 2002.
I was still too young for that, but I was a freaking cringy middle schooler. And
everybody was a cringy middle schooler.
That's
once
what
in
I
their
mean.
life.
I'm just saying, if people are complaining about these kids being cringy, they deny the cringiness in themselves in middle school.
Yeah.
You weren't in middle school unless you were cringy, and if you don't think you were cringy, fight me. You were.
Yeah.
So it's a shared experience among all people.
So to give people a better idea of where I'm seeing this, I'm seeing this more on my own Facebook feed rather than like my Twitter feed, like, so it's the Facebook parents and people that it's like the adults that, have Facebooks that are having, like commenting and, like saying stuff about it. And I'm just like, yeah. So it's like, at the same time, I'm like, you should have done your research, but also I think it's on Pixar for not really like marketing. I think it's the fact that it didn't get marketed well also didn't help.
For sure, yeah. But no, I'm excited to watch. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah,
again,
it's really good for what it is.
Like, I've seen some like screenshots and stuff, and thankfully I've managed to avoid spoilers.
Yeah.
But it's like they acknowledge periods. I'm just like, yo, what freaking movie does that? Let's go.
Yeah, and
like,
so that's
even
another...
just that simple thing, which I don't even know how big in context it is to the rest of the movie, but I'm like, you know what? Even just this makes me excited to watch, because no one wants to talk about that crap.
Well, yeah, and so I think that's specifically, those topics like that are what caught people off guard. And it's like, well, just because it's this thing that mostly gets hush-hush about, or like... people are afraid to talk about it. It's like, well, no, that's part of puberty. That's part of adolescence. That's part of growing up. So, but yes, it is. I can see how it is awkward, especially like for somebody like Colby on the board of directors. He's got primarily boys. So I know that was awkward. One of my pastors at my church, commented on my post I made on Facebook, and he's got all boys. He doesn't even have daughters. So I can see how that was really awkward watching that movie. So it's like, I don't blame it's not really the parents' fault in some cases, because they're thinking, oh, like this is going to be a fun family movie, and then that's what they get. So it's like, I understand the complaints from parents, but also I'm like, yeah, you could do your research though.
No, I'll hopefully watch it this week.
Yeah,
I would like to.
It's good.
We'll get into the movie news then. Shelley, you got a lot of Marvel stuff going on.
We got a lot of... It's all Marvel today, guys. So sorry. We just talked about Batman. We just talked about DC for a while, and now we're talking about Marvel. So buckle up.
That's what happens. Every a Batman movie, a DC movie, and Marvel's like, all right, news, guys. Get it out there.
Yeah.
I guess that's fair.
Shut them up.
They got to have something to break up all the Batman news on screen rant.
Yeah, no joke.
So first thing, I'm not doing this in any particular order, but Dominique Thorne, who is Riri Williams, Ironheart, she's finally done filming stuff for Black Panther 2, which is like pretty big, because like I think we like theorized before, there were like theories that she's gonna be like introduced in that movie, but this this confirms it, right? Like, she's Riri Williams, she's Ironheart, and I think it sounds like she's gonna get introduced in this movie, then have a Disney Plus show after that.
Yes. The show's confirmed. I didn't know about the movie, so it's cool.
Yeah.
There were like rumors, but nothing ever got confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. I don't really have much more to say about that. Also, considering, talk about shootings and things, not the bad shootings, I mean like shootings in film. I just realized that doesn't sound right.
I was like, what happened?
No. I'm talking about Benedict Cumberbatch is still doing reshoots for Doctor Strange 2.
Got it.
I don't think that was a good segue. I think that was a bad segue. I thought, we're talking about like, shooting film, but I'm like, oh gosh, okay.
You haven't had a bad one yet, so
it's fine.
Bound to happen.
It just came out odd.
It just took until almost episode 300 to
really
mess that one up. Anyway,
speaking of shootings, things.
As I'm trying to talk about, Benedict Cumberbatch is still doing reshoots, which, if you've watched any trailer recently for Doctor Strange 2, that movie's coming out soon.
Yeah.
It's coming out in May. And they're still doing reshoots, which is crazy to me.
I don't even understand.
Sounds like madness.
Yeah, it makes me wonder why. And I don't know, that's kind of a red flag to me. If
I like to think that Marvel has everything figured out for the next 10 years. And so for them to be doing reshoots now, I'm like, what do you not know about? What's not figured out?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Because I'm really excited for Doctor Strange 2. I think it's going to be really good, and like all the trailers have gotten me hyped. So, yeah, I'm like, so why?
Yeah, I don't know.
DC didn't know what they were doing, and they shot from the hip, and they've done like 3 good movies. So hopefully that's not what's happening with Marvel.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's not usually a good sign to have reshoots this way.
Yeah, it's like, what does that mean? You know, like, I think that's where I'm at, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what? Like, what is he reshooting, you know? Like, I don't know, maybe it's... Oh, we want to throw
it's
this character in there.
Morbius.
Yeah,
I don't think Morbius knows what it's going to be. They've been reshooting forever. They delay the movie forever. Hopefully it doesn't get delayed, but...
Oh, yeah,
I still don't believe it's coming out April 1st. Morbius.
Wow. Well, the 1st is legit a Friday, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't seem real.
Pretty
April Fools.
I think that's hilarious.
Because the movie's a joke. Anyway.
Yeah. I guess take that information as you will. I think it's a red flag that makes me a little bit worried, but I'm sure it's still gonna be fine. Like it's still Disney Marvel.
Yeah.
They always want to have the highest. It could be that they just.
They rewrote the script of
we
No
can make
Way
this better.
Home multiple times through filming, so...
It could have to do with your next news story, though.
Oh.
I guess that's... maybe. That would be interesting.
There are rumors that he'll make an appearance.
That would be very interesting. So, I should probably talk about my last...
Yeah, I was going to say, we might as well get into it.
Segue victory.
Is Deadpool 3 is happening.
Yes.
Shawn Levy's directing. And, I mean... again, I don't really know what more to say about that. It's Deadpool 3. Good old Deadpool trilogy, baby. But,
that's,
yeah.
Free Guy, and now, what's the new movie?
Adam Project? Project Adam?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Free Guy was amazing.
Yeah, Free Guy was really good.
That gives me hope.
Free Guy was better than I expected.
I think he's capable of making Deadpool PG-13. I don't know if that's what the direction they're going to want to go. I've heard that they're not going to go that route.
I think he could do it.
But if they want it, I think Shawn Levy could do that.
Because I feel like Free Guy was a few shades away of potentially being like something more mature.
Yeah, definitely.
I still haven't seen Deadpool 2, but...
This was great.
Yeah.
There's a PG-13 version now. I don't know if it's any good. But...
Oh, yeah!
I guess so.
I think as literally a way to appeal to Disney when...
Probably.
Because it happened like right as all the stuff was happening.
Yeah, but it would be very interesting.
I wonder if my 4K Blu-ray has that.
Crossover stuff happening with Deadpool and MCU. That would be very, very interesting.
I mean, Patrick Stewart's going to be in Doctor Strange.
I forgot about that.
And then all the like Netflix
I think
stuff
he's gonna be part of the Illuminati
coming to Disney Plus. Like maybe we're gonna get some Netflix.
I'm full on with this theory that Doctor Strange messes up multiverse stuff, and so the Illuminati, which is like variants of super smart people in the comics, getting together and being like a time TVA type situation.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Oh,
be cool.
You know, that's something. I'm like, I wish the TVA has been brought up at all since then, but
it hasn't.
It hasn't because it's sort of like an implied thing, but it's also like no one's actually talked about it.
Yeah,
I kind of wish people did, but at the same time, how would they know?
Rumors are that Loki 2 will be a bunch of TVAs at war. That's another crazy theory I've been hearing.
Wow.
My brain can't handle some of this. Being honest, like I'm excited for Doctor Strange 2. But I already know my brain's not going to be able to handle it. If my brain couldn't handle the Batman, my brain's not going to handle Doctor Strange 2. Are you serious?
I'm excited.
It's going to be nuts.
So it's supposed to be like Patrick Stewart is, he's a different Xavier than we know. He's like a variant, and then there's gonna be an Iron Man variant, which is Tom Cruise.
Supposedly.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
And then Deadpool. I don't know
All
what
the
Deadpool.
actors. Yeah, then Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool.
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Spider-Man. We're supposed to get more. What's his face? Tobey Maguire.
Really?
No
See,
way.
this
weird.
is one of those movies now. It's like people are just going down a list of theories now.
Yeah.
It's like of
The two
course,
that make sense though were Patrick Stewart or like Xavier and Iron Man.
It's like the saying, what is it, like
together and working together.
even a broken clock is right twice a day. That's like people like trying to. That's like people trying to figure out when the next direct is going to be. It's like, well, you're just going down the list anyway. Like
This is what I do with my free time. I read rumors and theories from sketchy websites.
I mean, as long as you're not reading it from We Got This Covered, I think you're okay.
Yeah. Well,
From a slightly biased source.
Even though I feel like they have been right like once or twice.
well, that's what's annoying too. Is like you had shown me something recently, LJ, and you're like, "This news just came out today," and I was like, "I knew about this like 4 days ago," but I'd known it from like a sketchy, like We Got This Covered type thing. I think it was worse than We Got This Covered. Like it was like a blog.
Oh wow!
And then 4 days later, it came up, and I was like, "Well, we could have reported on this and been really like ahead of it." But
yeah. Well, that
I
was
don't
like
remember what it was.
that was like the whole Netflix stuff coming to Disney Plus. I was like,
That's what it was. Yeah.
I'm like,
So
I
they
don't
come
see
on-
an actual source for this at all. But
Yeah, that's what it was.
But even on like, so I logged into Netflix the other day and I was upset because like I kept my Daredevil,
Tangent.
I kept my Daredevil icon on there because I'm thinking
Oh, yeah.
like this is never gonna like if I don't remove this it won't go away, you know, like.
Uh-huh.
But then when I saw that was removed and changed to something else, I'm like, oh, this is actually real.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah,
I was like, your account could be worth something because you have.
no,
specific-
they removed it. So, but
That's crazy.
like last week when we were doing news, I was like, where is this source? Like, I never found anything that said that with Disney Plus saying that. So it's like,
yeah, I think you'd finally shared something on the IGN,
yeah,
and I was like, I knew about this.
yeah,
I had been following it pretty closely. First, it was the news that it was being taken off, and then it got taken
Yeah.
off.
yeah,
But then the news that was trickling in was that Disney Pluses, like not from the United States but other countries,
yeah,
were for sure getting the Defenders and all of the other shows on there.
yeah.
And so then I saw rumors that it was going to be a Disney Plus here, and then you had shared it on the IGN thing
Mhm.
a couple days later. And I was like, I already knew about this, but I had been reading like
Yeah.
I don't know. I was put up some random letters, but they might actually be a website, so I won't say that. Just random
Yeah.
weird blog things. That's what Google feeds me. It's Google's fault. Anyone who's an Android phone knows what I'm talking about. Google gives me the weirdest.
Gives you a list of just random.
Yeah, it's
Here-
it's
here,
easy
you
to
like
care about
this?
when you
Let
hit
me
the
throw
home
it
button
at
on your
you.
phone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I always get the most random.
No, that happens to me
Thanks.
too.
Cool. I'm glad I'm not alone. I'm like We Got This Covered. I had to tell them no. I was like, stop. But
You
We
don't-
Got This Covered is getting more and more notable.
You don't have this covered. Are you kidding?
They are like a broken clock.
Yeah, they are right every once in a while.
Yeah, they're putting in a lot of work. All right, that's
move
it
on.
for movie news. Then we'll get
Yeah,
into
yeah.
TV show. I didn't talk about Injustice. I
Oh!
watched Injustice in the movie too.
Yeah.
We'll
Tell
kinda
me
it's
about
kind
what
of a
you-
TV to movie.
Yeah, how
TV
do
movie?
you feel about that garbage?
Yeah. The Batman was good. So here's my thing. I wanted to watch a movie. And there's a bunch of movies I can't watch without my wife because she'll be mad because she wants to watch them with me. So I was like, I'll watch one of these DC animated movies that's come out because I missed a few of them since Just Like Apocalypse,
Yeah.
which is the last one I think I watched before this. And I'm looking through it, and I looked at Injustice, and I didn't like the art style. Like, immediately looking at trailer or stills or something was like, I'm not going to watch this. So I went back and I realized that like Batman: The Long Halloween, which is supposed to be really good.
That actually looks and animates better than Injustice, though. Like that style
But it
doesn't
still
work.
has this weird Archer art style.
Yeah.
And those who like have seen Archer, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's very hard lined. It looks like a comic book, and I'm sure that's kind of what they were going with.
Yeah.
They thought would be a good thing. I just can't stand it. The new Catwoman is an anime,
Yeah.
and I'm totally down for them to go with an anime art style. That's fun.
Let's go.
That's a lot better. That movie is probably one of the best DC animated movies in a long time.
Yeah. Besides that, LJ's problems with Injustice are the same as mine. It's rushed.
Yeah.
It's weirdly funny in places that it shouldn't be. Like, it's not a funny movie. So like I don't know, like the concepts in it are really dark, and so all of the funny parts are really random and kind of I don't know. It's weird because they did so well in the Justice League Dark era. That I just don't understand like how this happened, I guess.
They skewered that thing to where like not only video game fans aren't happy, but like even the comic book fans are like, "What are you doing?" Like,
yeah, I could see that
because the comics are apparently really good, and it's like in the video games are basically like 3-hour long interactive movies anyway.
Well, they made the Long Halloween a 2-part movie. I think Injustice probably could have been a 3-part movie easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Long Halloween is actually pretty good. You should watch that one.
Okay, I'll try to give it a watch. I'll get through that art style.
Yeah.
That was my biggest problem with it. I just don't like, and I don't want to be the person that's like, I don't like change, because I really loved everything about Justice League Dark.
But it feels like a step back in some ways.
Yeah, I don't understand what they're doing.
Yeah.
But again, maybe they've taken to that with the new Catwoman movie. Maybe they're going to continue changing up the art styles for a while. So there's like 5 different movies in there. I don't know what all the other ones were, but there was 2 Halloweens and then the Injustice, and I think there were 2 more.
I think Superman. I think it was Man of Tomorrow or something was.
Yeah. Oh, and then the other one was Justice Society.
Oh yeah. The like
style.
World War II thing.
Yeah, all cool stuff. It just looks like Archer, which to me is like not quality work. Like it's Fox cable television animation. Don't get it. So that's where I stand on that. I don't know. Yeah. They could have definitely done a lot more with it.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't talk about it. I was trying to block it out of my memory. Thanks, guys. We'll get into TV stuff now. Let's see. I finished Vikings Valhalla.
Nice.
Not a lot to report on there. It's good. Except for the cheesy. I brought up the cheesy stuff, right?
Yeah, yes. You did.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, we talked about the white light at the bottom of the pond, the swamp.
The pool light.
Other than that show is great. I really, really enjoy it. And then The Last Kingdom is on its last season, and I'm loving it. But you can tell, story-wise, it didn't need to be the last season. They're rushing a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is happening, but it's not necessarily bad because it's keeping it kind of. I mean, we'll see if it pays off in the end or not. As of right now, it's kind of cool how fast everything's going. And kind of keeps the anticipation up.
That's good.
Yeah, love that show. There's a lot of debate between. I mean, there always has been, but specifically in this season, Christianity and I guess heathenism. It's kind of I don't know. It's interesting to kind of watch it unfold in this way. A little more anti-Christian than they've been in the past, I think. But I don't know. That was what I liked about Vikings Valhalla was the kind of working together of different faiths and stuff, and this seems very.
I wonder if they rushed the end of The Last Kingdom because they were getting the Vikings deal, and we're probably like, oh, we can't have 2 of these.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that. They take place about like 200 or 300 years apart, so not a lot of time really. And one nice thing is they feel very different from each other.
That's good.
Yeah, I was curious about that because it's been a while since I've seen Last Kingdom, and so just coming out of Vikings Valhalla and like a week later getting to see this show, I get to kind of compare them. And the way the acting and the writing is set up is even just like the scenes are set up very differently, which is cool. Vikings Valhalla feels very much like Vikings, the TV show on History Channel. So if that's your thing,
cool.
Yeah, you would probably appreciate that one more. I'm excited for the movie. I got about 5 more episodes of Last Kingdom before I'm done.
Nice.
But one of my favorite shows on TV ever. So there's probably some rose tinted glasses there with Last Kingdom as well. Do enjoy it. LJ, go ahead.
I mean, I don't really have much else to say. I've still been watching Clone Wars and Reacher. It's been a very slow burn for me because I'm not watching as much TV because I'm like working a lot more. So it's like
okay.
I'm very slow burning through those. But I'm still watching them. So
Cool.
that's a report.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll get into TV news then. I'll talk about the one that I'm most excited for. I think we're all excited for. That's Obi-Wan. We got a trailer for Obi-Wan. The Inquisitors are in it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't know much about the Inquisitors or anything, but it looks exciting.
So yeah, I was gonna say. So have you watched? So have you watched Rebels?
No.
Have you played?
Only watched the Bad Batch.
Have you played Jedi Fallen Order?
Nope.
Oh, you should play.
Do one of those?
Yes, I mean.
Okay.
Jedi Fallen Order is like super inexpensive now.
Okay.
And it also might be on EA Play / Game Pass.
Okay.
So, yes. So the Inquisitors are basically like Jedi hunters, like Jedi killers.
Right.
So they're the ones that go find the Jedi when they discover like, oh, there's still one living.
Are they Sith?
Huh? Yeah, they're kind of.
I thought there could only be one Sith.
Well, they're kind of Sith. They're not like Sith per se, but yeah, like there's multiples of them.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so they're
Sith
really
have weird rules.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Jedi have concrete rules either, to be honest.
That's fair.
I mean,
they've that more and more with Clone Wars, are you?
I'm like, nobody, like, everything's off the table now.
They're more of a set of guidelines, really.
Yeah. That's a good one. But yeah, the Inquisitors are super cool. Like, they're really cool characters in Rebels, and honestly, like, some of my favorite boss fights in Jedi Fallen Order. You can even play Jedi Fallen Order on, like, an easy mode, so it doesn't have to be, like, super Souls-like hard.
Yeah, I don't want a Dark Souls thing.
Yeah.
Story.
Yeah, no, there's a story thing where you can lower it, but yeah, the Inquisitors are really cool. So I if you want to,
is it called beginner, story, or Padawan?
I think it's story.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's literally just called story or Padawan or something.
I want Foundling mode.
Yeah, it might just be story or Padawan. I'd have to look, but I played it on the second to hardest difficulty when I reviewed it because.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, because I was like, I want to see if this hits back like a Souls game, which it did. But yeah, I think if you want to do some like pre-research, watch Rebels. Rebels is really good. I actually kind of did that backwards because I watched like a season or two of Rebels, and then now I'm watching Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Inquisitors are really cool. The Inquisitor they show in the trailer of that, he actually looks a little weirder than his like Rebels counterpart because he's literally in Rebels.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I've seen side by side comparisons of that.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like a Star Trek character, which is weird to say, but
yeah,
like a Star Trek TV show.
Yeah,
thing going on.
I recommend if you want to do some pre-research on the Inquisitors, Jedi Fallen Order and Rebels are the way to go.
Mm-hmm. A couple other things to note in the trailer: the music from the very.
Oh my gosh.
You play Duel of Fates. That's gonna get me to watch anything.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's like
for the first movie, right? Duel
yes.
of Fates.
Yeah,
I'm an episode 1 apologist. Like it's not good, but it's nostalgic.
Oh,
okay. That was cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
I wish we would have got a little bit more of Darth Vader.
We got a silhouette.
We heard him breathe.
That's
Not
true.
Good enough for you.
No.
No, because it's not actually Hayden Christensen, and it's like a sound effect.
But one thing I really enjoy is that this doesn't look like it's going to take place just on Tatooine.
Yeah.
It's jumping worlds a little bit, and that's huge.
I think that that oceanic planet they saw I think it's literally the final level of Jedi Fallen Order. I think.
Cool.
I love the connections to Fallen Order.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that makes me happy.
Dude, if we get Cal Kestis in a show,
I'm tired of like the Clone Wars and Rebels like stuff. I don't know. I just think it's fun that they're doing the video game now.
That's why I geeked out when Cal Kestis' lightsaber got voted for the next one to be at like Galaxy's Edge, because I'm like,
right.
Yes. So
super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, did we get a release date for Obi-Wan?
I think it's May. It's actually May 25th.
It's not May, yeah.
Which
because people talk about how it's like, it's not May 4th.
Oh yeah, that's right. We already had one.
But it's like May 25th is a different anniversary.
It was I think May 25th was literally the release of New Hope, I believe.
Okay, May 4th would have been genius. Another thing we got a trailer for kind of was The Boys season 3. Basically we got a release date and we got footage. You learn nothing. The Boys. For those who don't know what The Boys is, because you're good Christians. It's a very rated M for mature show about superheroes, and if you like being shocked, that show is for you. A lot of shock value there, but be aware it is rated M for mature. June 3rd is the release date for it, and then season 4 is already going to begin filming later in 2022.
Nice.
So they got plans apparently.
I need to watch season 2. I need to get ready.
It's good. The shock factor, I can't underline that. I think enough.
That
That's
teaser they
the
have
point of the show.
Yeah, that teaser they have of Billy the Butcher, like with glowing eyes, like scares me because I'm like, that dude with powers. Like, I mean, I know Homelander's like crazy, but that dude's like crazy as well.
Yeah.
So that might be a season.
Guys in that show.
Yeah, that might be a season 2 thing that probably hints goes into that. But I'm like, okay, that made me want to watch season 2 now.
Then probably the least exciting news to me. Some people might love this. There is a spin-off show for Kiteman. That is not a Peacemaker spin-off show. That is a Harley Quinn spin-off show. Harley Quinn, the animated show.
I'm
really good.
Interested in that. Like, I would watch it because I actually liked Harley Quinn a lot.
I think it really depends on who's making it. I think if it's the same makers as Harley Quinn, it could be okay. There are some other directors that I would love to see do a Kiteman. I think that could be a lot of fun.
James Gunn, just give it to James Gunn.
Yeah, James Gunn does, it'd be amazing. I think Seth MacFarlane could probably do a good job with it too.
Yeah.
He does so much already. I'm sure he's not picking up another show.
Seth Rogen or Seth MacFarlane?
MacFarlane.
Oh, okay. Because I know Seth Rogen's doing like Invincible and The Boys.
Yeah, I don't know if Seth Rogen would do a good job on it or not.
Yeah.
I think he interestingly enough kind of does more deep thoughted work.
Yeah.
Which is weird to say with Seth Rogen, but yeah, he's pretty intricate with this stuff. Seth MacFarlane making it kind of like a Family Guy style, like not style art wise, but comedically. Could be a lot of fun for Kiteman. I could see that, but we'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it or not. I watched so many other things already.
Yeah.
Just give me more Harley Quinn because Harley Quinn is so funny.
That show didn't have any right to be as good as it was.
Yeah, no, not at all. And that is the news. Are you guys geeking out about anything else this week?
Nope.
I'll finish on one more thing that I did in Denver. I went to Meow Wolf Convergence Station. Those who don't know Meow Wolf, definitely Google it and look it up. It's amazing. They are interactive art museums, and saying that doesn't do them justice. My favorite one was in Santa Fe. In Santa Fe, we talked about this on the podcast when I went, but you basically, at the Santa Fe, New Mexico one, you go into the building, and then in the building is a house, or at least the front of a house. And when you walk in, it looks like an old 90s home. There's like a TV playing, which is real odd. And then there's like a fireplace and like a full kitchen. But like you open the refrigerator to the kitchen, and the inside the refrigerator is a whole art exhibit. Like you walk through it to another dimension is supposed to be the idea of it. So Convergence Station, that one's all about different dimensions. Convergence Station is about different planets.
Huh.
You're supposed to be going to these elevators. These elevators are supposed to be taking you to different planets. Super cool. I don't know. It's just a lot of fun. I don't know. There's these things. Probably one of my favorite parts was this pod that you go into, and it's got these. It looks like living things above you. They're like light gelatin pods, I guess. And then on the walls, you sit down and you can touch the wall, and this thing will start vibrating. And if everyone in the room touches it, everything turns blue. And as people start to let go, the lights turn like red, like it's angry that you've stopped.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And it's just a real weird experience. There's one in Santa Fe, Denver, and then Vegas. I think there's only 3 of them right now.
I was going to say, it sounds similar to a thing I've seen in Vegas called like Area 51, I think.
Okay.
That one's different, but it's like more,
it's in Nevada.
It's very abstract. Yeah.
Not
No. I think it's very abstract. I've seen it on TikTok. It's a trip.
Okay, I'll check that out. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, abstract's a good way to put this. Like the one in Santa Fe, there are these couches, and the couches are melting into the ground.
That's crazy.
And there's like AstroTurf on the couch. It's madness. But I don't know. I liked the Santa Fe one more, I'll admit. But I think maybe it's because I had already seen a lot of this art already, so like none of it was shocking to me. Whereas when you go to the
it's literally, yeah, that's Meow Wolf. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's literally called Meow Wolf Area 51.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Oh, so you've been to one then?
No, I haven't been to one, but I mean my stepfamily has, but I've also seen it on TikTok a little bit.
Okay, I didn't know that. So that's a fourth one then.
Yeah, well that may be the one.
I think in Vegas it's a shopping center.
Okay.
And I can't remember what it's. Oh, Mega Mart is what it's called.
Huh. Yeah.
No.
Anyway.
Cool stuff.
That's cool that
nerdy.
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Mega Mart. Yeah, it's called. I think it is the Mega Mart thing.
Oh, okay. They might have like an Area 51 spot or something.
Yeah. Well, I think that might be the theme or something. I don't know, but
that makes
looks
sense.
Cool.
Yeah, they all have these weird stories. I didn't really look into the story for the one we were at in Denver. But like the one in Santa Fe, I mentioned that house. The idea is that the government, so there's this family and they lost a loved one. They're trying to bring the loved one back to life, and so in doing so, they open up dimensions on accident. And so the government has detained the house and put the house in a building. And the museum part of it is a cover up for what's actually going on, kind of thing. It's craziness, super weird, super artistic. One of my new favorite experiences, I think. I'll just look at pictures of it now.
Yeah, I am. I'm like, this is crazy.
It's so much more wild in person.
Yeah.
Anyways, we will end the podcast there then. LJ, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at WarHeroLJ and streaming on our Twitch channel on Fridays, twitch.tv/Geeks Under Grace.
So you can find me on Twitter at TheShellshock24, and I'm streaming Tuesday nights, twitch.tv/Geeks Under Grace. I am still playing Persona 4 Golden.
And you can find me on Instagram at Cody Armour. Keep gaming, keep praying, and God bless.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Geeks Under Grace podcast. We love hearing from you, so feel free to ask us questions or just comment on the show by using the hashtag GUGcast on Twitter, or by joining the GUGcast questions channel in the Geeks Under Grace Discord. If you like this episode, consider leaving a review or rating of our show on your favorite podcast app. If you want even more Geeks Under Grace, you can always go to geeksundergrace.com. We love you all so much, so thank you for listening.